Welcome to another Buyer Spotlight segment showcasing e-com sellers who have sourcing their products from India. Today is Simon Agar from Perth, Australia, and welcome to our show, Simon.
Thanks, Margaret. Good to be here.
Yes, now look, do you want to tell us why you actually chose to source from India, and have you sourced from anywhere else previously?
So it was probably as a result of the product or the niche that we chose that led us to India versus choosing India primarily as a destination from which to source. So when we were doing our kind of product research, identified the product we wanted to sell. When we started looking for suppliers for our product, that led us to India, and that's because it's a handmade product. And so, yeah, that was kind of everybody selling similar products were in a niche. We're all sourcing from India. So that's kind of what primarily led us to
Literally.
sourcing from India. So it was probably product driven versus sourcing driven. But
Yeah, right.
we had previously bought and sold products made in China. But yeah, sourcing from India was a very different experience. Positive experience.
Oh, well, that's good. So, how long have you actually been, sourcing from India itself, and what market do you actually sell in?
So we originally sourced our product in early 2019 and went live with the product in October of 2019. So yeah, we were almost kind of 4 years within with this our original product. It's still selling, and plus other complementary products within the same niche. So yeah, 4 years now. We primarily sell in the US on Amazon, but we also sell wholesale in the US, UK, and Australia.
Oh, well, that's great. Yeah. So, how many products or SKUs do you actually have altogether now?
So we've probably got 6 products in total, but each of those have variations. So we've probably got about 30 SKUs currently live on Amazon.
Oh,
And
fantastic.
yeah, we've got a number of those products, as we say, kind of with wholesalers as well. And we're currently developing another 5 or 6 products currently. So yeah, that will kind of take us to around kind of 10, 11 products, hopefully by the end of the calendar year. And
Oh,
yeah, each of
fantastic.
those will have some variations to them as well.
Okay, now you said you're doing handmade products. Can you just give us an idea of the type of products and what materials do you use in those? I don't want to know what
So
your product is, just an idea.
yeah, so our products fall under home decor items. And they're predominantly metal, mainly aluminium or aluminum, depending on which marketplace we're talking to. And we do have some wooden products in there as well, but mainly metal.
Oh, right, great. And like, do you just use one supplier, or do you go through sourcing agent? How did you go about sort of, finding your products to start with?
So we now use sourcing agents. So we use SabSource, who are kind of recommended by the Sourcing in India group, and we have we use multiple suppliers through them. So we originally started out kind of sourcing directly ourselves, but as we've kind of grown and expanded and started developing some new products, yeah, we've been very pleased and very happy with the support that we've been getting from SabSource and the vendors they've introduced us to. So yeah, that's been yeah, kind of our journey.
Well, yeah, and I think too, if you are busy, and I know you actually have a full-time corporate job as well, so to spend a lot of time, on the phone or Zoom or whatever with suppliers or chasing suppliers down, sometimes it's worth the small payment to a sourcing agent to get them to, find you the product and then look after the manufacturing of it. Especially when you're not there and you can't just pop in and have a look. I think it's great to have boots on the ground. Have you found that
Oh,
was really?
without a doubt, I think yeah, certainly kind of one of our experiences or learnings was we kind of when we started, we found suppliers ourselves in probably ways that most people would go about, kind of searching on Alibaba and other such sites. And you identify suppliers, you get samples, and you kind of pretty much go from there. But I think what you lose by not engaging a sourcing agent is the fact that they've got vendors who they know their quality,
Yeah.
and you're not reliant on just assessing quality based on a couple of samples. And the time and speed at which things move using a sourcing agent versus going direct yourself is completely different. So yeah, we've been able to develop products a lot quicker with the help of SabSource, and that has saved us time and money in kind of getting products to market. So you're right. There's a small fee for using kind of a sourcing agent, but I kind of find that you actually save a lot of time and money um, in the time of getting a product from kind of concept to market using the sourcing agent, and they more than pay for themselves.
Yeah, definitely. I think, in a lot of cases, you think you're saving money, but the amount of time you lose, and especially if you are not doing, this is a full time gig. I mean, it can, you come home from work and the last thing you want to do is spend hours trying to, get into time zones with, other suppliers and things like that. So now with your packaging, do you actually get it done separately, or do you get it done wherever the product's being manufactured in their factory? Do they do it for you, or do you have your own packaging company?
We've done both, but our packaging's fairly basic. It's not a huge part of the buying experience. So yeah, we utilize our suppliers for the packaging. And again, something that we've been able to do more so now that we've utilized kind of sub source has been kind of moving away from some of the polystyrene type packaging, thermocol
Yes.
packaging, and moving to yeah, some more kind of environmentally friendly and sustainable packaging,
Oh, well, that's
which
good. Yeah.
yeah, so which is kind of where we've been focused on some of the newer products, kind of building that into the sampling process, and then also kind of moving some of our existing products over to some more sustainable packaging as well.
And so, what would be probably the biggest challenge you faced during this whole journey?
I probably kind of touched on it a little in kind of that journey from identifying a supplier and moving across to SabSource was around quality, kind of particularly as we grew our orders with our original supplier. It's something that Megler talks to around supplier fade. So the quality started off good, but as we kind of increased the orders and the volume of orders and the amount of items that were inspected as part of the final inspection reduced, we found the number of issues and errors coming to light through kind of customer feedback, customer returns, that the quality of the product had slipped, and so we engaged SabSource for that reason. We wanted to address the quality issues and making sure that we were getting a quality product. So through them, we were able to kind of get a higher quality of product and establish much better processes around sampling, pre-production, inline inspections, midline inspections, so that the product was seen multiple times throughout the production by the same quality inspector because it's
Yeah.
through source. So we're able to kind of ensure that start off with a better quality of vendor, but ensuring that yeah, that our products were being inspected multiple times through the production process, and not just relying on a final product inspection. And that's seen our the quality of product significantly improve, and each order having the same person versus kind of yeah, um, different inspectors going in at different times and not understanding the product or the
Yeah.
quality that we needed from it.
Oh,
And
that's
it's
fantastic.
particularly challenging because it's a handmade product. So there's going to be variation. There's going to be differences. Um, so yeah, ensuring kind of understanding kind of what that tolerance is.
Yeah.
We've been able to kind of get that established. With the help of Subsource. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Because yeah.
that's been kind of our biggest challenge was quality. But yeah, we've been able to kind of significantly improve that over the last 12 months.
Now, look, I know you actually joined us on the India sourcing trip. I think it was our last trip. How did you find that? Did it give you a bit of an eye opener into what else you can do, and what other things you can add to your range, and to see a lot more different products on display?
Yes, so I joined the trip in March, which was really good. That had a couple of benefits for me. So obviously, we got to meet a lot of the people that I've been interacting with over the last 4 years, um, both meeting suppliers that we were dealing with, meeting the SabSource team, meeting the CAIR team. So people that I'd exchanged multiple emails with, spoken with on the phone, actually getting to meet them face to face was
They're real.
really, it was really good and valuable. We've kind of been limited on the ability to do that with, especially kind of during the time that we were sourcing was kind of largely within the COVID period where we were unable to travel there ourselves. So being able to travel with the India sourcing trip was really good. What it also enabled us to do was um, we I mentioned we've got a few products that we're currently developing. I was able to meet with those vendors in the first week that we were in Delhi to see the samples for the first time, provide feedback on those samples to those vendors on the first day that I was there in Delhi, and then the following week we went to Muradabad for the uh, extension of the trip, and that's where our vendors are based. And I was able to get revised samples a week later to be able to
Yeah.
view. So that
Big
saved
time saving.
massive time saving and massive cost saving of products being shipped over, providing feedback kind of over the phone or via a chat. But being able to kind of do it in person, you're able to kind of discuss some of the issues and how you were able to deal with it. Um, and so we were able to save weeks of time and costs of shipping by being able to do that. So that was one of the things. Another thing that was really valuable, and then also because we've already got a brand in a particular niche, and I know kind of what products suit our brand. What was really good about the fair was being able to kind of walk around, see what was there, and see what would fit kind of product line, see what would fit our brand, and then be able to kind of take some of those ideas and further develop and refine them. So, it was a 10-day trip that has proven extremely valuable in terms of how we've been able to take that and implement some of the things we saw and progress some of our ideas all within a short space of time.
Well, that's great. Yeah. Now, look, just sort of for one thing, for people who are thinking of diversifying their manufacturing to India, what is a piece of advice you would give people to who are thinking, should I do this? Should I not? Where do I start? What would
Um,
you?
Yep. So I think probably the piece of advice, certainly probably an area that we fell down with initially with our suppliers and probably contributed to some of those kind of quality issues or things kind of changing or over kind of multiple orders would be kind of reference pieces. So as mentioned, our products are handmade, as many are in India, and that's kind of a big appeal of sourcing from India. You get the handmade products, but with that, naturally, there's going to be variation to those products, especially as are metal and they're handcrafted, hand painted. You end up with a degree of variation. And so one of the things that we've learned since working with SabSource was around reference pieces. So whenever we develop a new product, and we go through the sampling stage, once we get to a point where we're happy with a product, we actually get reference pieces produced as part of
Mm.
pre-production. And with that, there's a piece that's kept with the supplier, a piece that's kept with the quality inspector at SabSource, and a piece that's kept by us. And now all signed, and that enables us, when we then make future orders, that they've got a reference piece to come back to that's held by each of us. So that helps us ensure the consistency of product as we produce over time. That's something we didn't have in the past and led to variations in color, slightly different sizes, variations to the pieces. And so, yeah, I think that would be one thing that we've certainly learned and benefited from, is having reference pieces available for people, for the inspectors to check against as they inspect our order.
Right. Okay. Well, look, just winding up now, I'd just like to add that Simon has obviously been talking quite a bit about using a sourcing agent. Now, we have actually added to our sort of services a done for you sourcing service, which if you contact us, we can put you in contact with somebody in our team and the best people for the job. SabSource are included in that group, but sometimes people want something that doesn't fit a particular sourcing agent, and we tend to know each
Mhm.
one's speciality. So anyone who wants to have any information on that, if they just contact us at info@indiasourcing.net, and we can help you out with that. And as Simon mentioned, he was lucky to be on our trip in March, and we have another trip that's heading off to the Delhi Fair in October, which is the 10th to the 17th of October. And today we have a special offer. If you use the code Simon when you're booking, you can receive $300 off your trip. And if you want any further information on the trip, you can go to indiasourcing.net, indiasourcingtrip.com, sorry. So, and that will be the trip website, and you can find out all about the fantastic trip. Look, thank you very much for your time, Simon, because I know Simon's actually just flown in from overseas late last night. So he's very good to be sitting here talking to us wide awake this morning. So thank you very much. And I'm sure people have learned a lot, because you've given away a lot of nuggets there that will help people that are looking to move to their sourcing. Thanks a lot,
That's
Simon.
great. No worries. Thanks,
Okay.
Margaret.
Thanks. Bye.